Published 2016 est. The 20th of November 2017. Updated 2117 est. The 20th of November 2017. Gaia Popes' body was found on Saturday in a field near Swanage, 11 days after she was last seen. Police investigating the disappearance of Gaia Pope wrongly accused the family of murdering the teenager after they failed to realize that the time on a CCTV camera had not changed when the clocks went back. Officers arrested Rosemary Dinch, 71, her son Paul Elsie, 49, and her grandson Nathan Elsie, 19, after the grandmother became the last person to see Gaia alive. Before their arrest, the family had handed officers CCTV to help in the search for the missing teenager. The family were then quizzed as witnesses after it emerged grandmother Rosemary was the last person to see Gaia before she vanished. But crucially, their version of their movements that afternoon was out by an hour compared to the CCTV they had provided to police, raising suspicions about their versions of events. But rather than realize that the time had not been changed, police instead arrested the family and accused them of murdering the 19-year-old. The family was eventually released without charge, and the 19-year-old's body was found on Saturday in a field near Swanage 11 days after she was last seen. A post-mortem examination has not identified any injuries to suggest third-party involvement, and Miss Pope's death is currently being treated as unexplained. Scroll down for video. Officers arrested Rosemary Dinch Wright, her son Paul Elsie, 49, and her grandson Nathan Elsie left after the grandmother was the last person to see Gaia alive. CCTV handed to police early on in the investigation showed her last known whereabouts as she walked towards the home of Rosemary Dinch. Gaia had previously made an accusation against 24-year-old Connor Hayes. His mother revealed today he is currently serving a jail term for child offense. Nathan's mother, Deborah Elsie, who recorded the footage from her home, told The Sun the police got it all wrong. "We love Gaia. She was like one of the family. We gave them CCTV footage that showed Nathan going to his grand's house around the corner. When they questioned Nathan, the time didn't match the time on the footage, so they dragged him in for murder. It's ridiculous. The time on the CCTV didn't match because the clocks went back and the time on their didn't change. It has now surfaced that she was anxious about the release of 24-year-old pervert Connor Hayes. Hayes is currently serving a 2-year jail term, along with his friend William Wright, for filming a video of them having with a teenage girl, who is not related to Gaia, that was subsequently published on the internet. The pair were jailed in April this year at Bournemouth Crown Court for charges relating to taking an indecent image of a child under 18. A college friend of Gaia's told the Daily Mail there is a private Instagram account she has just with her friends, and she said that she was nervous about Connor getting let out of prison. She mentioned bits and pieces just after it happened, but it was only made properly public much later on social media. I think her last post about it was around Halloween time. She did let people know about the assault on Facebook, and when she did it we told her it wasn't safe and she should take it down. We told her to delete it because it was dangerous. I think she thought he might be released a bit early." Gaia is pictured here with her mother Natasha Pope, who penned a moving tribute to her free spirit daughter. The teenager's father, Richard Sutherland, pictured here on Good Morning Britain last week, said, "Our beautiful bird has flown." Gaia's mother Natasha Pope penned a heart-wrenching tribute to the teenager, who she called a wise, magnificent soul who burned far too bright for this world. Gaia's father, Richard Sutherland, said his daughter was no longer in pain, adding, "Our beautiful bird has flown. She's not with us now in body, but she will remain in our hearts and with us forever. So while the loss of her in one way is immeasurable, we will treasure you, Gaia, and honor you always. You're not in pain anymore, my darling. We love you. I love you." Detectives held 3 members of the same family on suspicion of murder, and Rosemary Dinch, 71, her son Paul Elsie, 49, and her grandson Nathan Elsie, 19, are set to sue police for wrongful arrest. Gaia Pope's grief-stricken mother Natasha Pope wrote a heartbreaking tribute to her daughter. It was read by Gaia's father Richard Sutherland today. It reads, "My beautiful Gaia, a true Gaia spirit, a wise, magnificent soul that burns far too bright for this world. Her spirit overflows with love and compassion for others. Gaia, our free spirit, our wild pony, a light that will radiate for all eternity." Meet me at the gate, my darling, and so we're here longing for you for the rest of our lives, together forever, united as one, your mum always. Mr. Sutherland told ITV News. As far as Gaia goes, I just think our beautiful bird has flown. She's not with us now in body, but she will remain in our hearts and with us forever. So while the loss of her in one way is immeasurable, we will treasure you, Gaia, and honor you always. You're not in pain anymore, my darling. We love you. I love you. Mr. Sutherland also revealed that he had asked police to pass on a message to the family, adding that our thoughts are with you. I would like to say that publicly, that I want you to know that we never pointed the finger at anybody, he told ITV News. We never wanted to see somebody else suffer as a result of this. Our thoughts are with you, and we know this was probably extraordinarily difficult, and I hope that goes some way to helping you as well. Gaia's cousin Mariana Pope Wideman added, the search for the truth about what happened to her and why has only just begun. We need answers. Today Greg Elsie, Rosemary Dink's first husband and father to Paul, said the police's disgraceful mishandling of the case had ruined his family's lives. He said it's been totally vindictive towards the family. I don't know for what reason. They have totally mishandled it, and the guy in charge ought to be walking the beat next week. Police admitted their inquiries would have caused them stress and anxiety, but insisted they had an obligation to explore every possible line of inquiry. The news will inevitably raise questions as to why police quizzed Gaia's childhood friend, Nathan, his carpenter uncle who was working 30 miles away at the time of her disappearance, and a 71-year-old grandmother whose severe emphysema sees her relying on an oxygen tank. The family insists they were helping Gaia before she went missing and said they had got in trouble for showing kindness. Mail Online have asked Dorset Police on what grounds they felt they had to arrest the three family members, but they have so far refused to comment. Officers have also faced calls to explain how Gaia's body was only found on Saturday in an area of clifftop that search teams claimed had already been scoured. The teenager's body was found in thick, dense gorse close to the edge of 70-feet cliffs known as Dancing Ledge near Swanage, Dorset. The isolated location was about half a mile from where her clothes had been found by a member of the public the previous Thursday, and was one of her favorite places to go. Greg Elsie, Rosemary's first husband and father to Paul, said the police's disgraceful mishandling of the case had ruined his family's lives. Gaia Pope went missing on November 7, and was last seen in a distressed state at the home of her childhood friend Nathan Elsie. She is pictured at one of her favorite beauty spots, which is where her body was found. Mr. Sutherland also revealed that he had asked police to pass on a message to the family, adding that our thoughts are with you while further tests are being carried out to determine an exact cause of death. Her father, Richard, had warned that her illness put Gaia at risk of sudden death. It has also been revealed the 19-year-old was tormented by the memory of an alleged UAL assault 2 years ago and gripped by fear her suspected attacker was about to be released from jail. Gaia had previously made an accusation against 24-year-old Connor Hayes, his mother revealed today. Hayes is currently serving a 2-year jail term, along with his friend William Wright, for filming a video of them having with a teenage girl, who is not related to Gaia, that was subsequently published on the internet. The pair were jailed in April this year at Bournemouth Crown Court for charges relating to taking an indecent image of a child under 18. A woman who answered the door to the home of Hayes today confirmed Gaia had previously made an accusation against her son. The woman, thought to be Hayes' mother, said in a statement the police did not take the matter further. Police investigation. A body of a woman who police believed to be Gaia was found approximately a mile from her home and near to where a pile of her clothes were recovered on Thursday. She said, I am aware that my son had a brief friendship with Gaia Pope when she was 16 and had just started college. Within weeks of their friendship ending, Gaia made an accusation to the police which was not upheld. To the best of my knowledge, my son has not had any contact with Gaia since their friendship ended at least 2 years ago. Gaia went missing on Tuesday, November 7, and was last seen in a distressed state at the home of her childhood friend Nathan Elsie. Yesterday afternoon, Dorset Police said they were confident they had found Gaia after the body was recovered. They claim after an initial examination, her death is still being treated as unexplained and her injuries imply no one else was involved in her death. Greg Elsey, 69, has accused the police of a witch hunt after his ex-wife Rosemary Dinch, 71, actor grandson Nathan Elsey, 19, Gaia's school friend and his son Paul, 49, were all taken into custody in a matter of days then released. They were released with no further action this morning. He said the location where Gaia's body was found by police was one of her favorite places and should have been searched earlier. He said, "I would like a letter of apology from Dorset Police, but I don't think I will get one. I am considering legal action. I don't think the police should treat you like this. It's devastating. One day you are happy and, the next, your world has been turned upside down. For anybody in the future, why should their family members be accused of murder when there's absolutely no evidence it has happened?" Dorset Police confirmed they were confident they had found Gaia after a body was recovered from a coastal path in Swanage, near to where items of her clothing were found on Thursday. Pictured, police at the scene in a heart-wrenching Facebook post today. Gaia's cousin Mariana Pope Wideman, pictured with Gaia, wrote, "We hold you in our hearts forever. You will have justice." Fly on speaking today at his home in West Wellow, near Romsey in Hampshire, Mr. Elsey said it was obvious to his ex-wife that Gaia was in a bad state when she visited her property in Swanage, Dorset. He added, "Right at the beginning, when Gaia left Rosemary's, she knew that Gaia was on the verge of a nervous breakdown and she has had one before 2 years ago. It was surprising to all of us that this wasn't mentioned. They talked about her other illness, but not about her nerves. If that had come out at the beginning, I think a bigger search would have taken place immediately. They could have put helicopters up and they may have found her alive." He said he believed Gaia had traveled to visit Rosemary because one of her friends said on Instagram she should go somewhere safe if she was feeling upset. He added she knew Rosemary was an elderly, kind lady, so she felt safe to go there. She was in a terrible state. Mr. Elsey accused police of not taking the investigation seriously, until they arrested Rosemary and Nathan on suspicion of murder. Defiant Paul's father Greg Elsey told Mail Online his son was innocent and said he believed police were unfairly targeting his family. Above, Nathan Elsey, 19, pictured left with grandfather Greg, right on Thursday. I said police only asked Nathan 10 questions, but kept him in custody for 24 hours and Mrs. Dinch, who has an oxygen canister with her at all times, was released at midnight. He said they decided my family were involved when all they did is show kindness. It's a sorry state where, if you show kindness, you get in trouble for it. If they had arrested them and said they were helping police with their inquiries, I would not have felt like I do, but to accuse them of murder with absolutely no evidence is a different matter. I don't blame the junior officers, I blame the people at the top. It has been like a vendetta for them." Mr. Elsey said he made arrangements for his son, Paul, to be taken to a police station in Poole, Dorset, after a meeting with his solicitor on Wednesday. But he said 6 police officers arrived at his solicitor's office and ran across the forecourt to drag him across and put him in handcuffs. He added, "It was totally disgusting. We made an arrangement and they broke it. It has been totally vindictive towards my family. I don't know the reason. All you can say is if they had handled this properly, Gaia would have been found a lot earlier, but instead of that, they have totally mishandled it." He said the investigation has taken a terrible toll on his family. Aspiring 19-year-old actor Nathan Elsey, who appeared in Dunkirk, seen leaving Gregory Elsey's house on Thursday. Greg Elsey said, "You've seen my ex-wife, she carries around an oxygen tank, for goodness sake." Pictured, Rosemary Dinch seen leaving her ex-husband Greg's home, with her oxygen tank on Thursday. Greg Elsey, pictured, said, "My family has totally been the victim of a witch hunt," said his ex-wife, and Nathan collapsed on the floor crying when they learned Gaia's body had been found. Mr. Elsey said he believed the location was Gaia's favorite place and somebody should take responsibility for the not very good handling of the case. Mr. Elsey added, "It has destroyed us. Muck sticks and that is not fair. We are a bit shell-shocked, but hopey, after today, we can get on with our lives. I understand the police had to investigate. I think they have gone about it totally the wrong way. Greg Elsey, 69, said that his family only ever tried to help only to be arrested on suspicion of murder. Rosemary Dinch, 71, her son Paul Elsey, 49, and her grandson Nathan Elsey, 19, are reportedly considering suing the police. Paul's father Greg Elsey, 69, said they had all only ever tried to help only to be arrested on suspicion of murder. He told the Daily Telegraph, "We will take action for wrongful arrest. This has ruined the lives. Mud sticks, doesn't it? Police should have said they were talking to someone who was helping them. Instead they said they arrested people on suspicion of murder. In terms of a smear on someone's character, it really doesn't get much worse, does it? It was like they were totally incompetent to start with. They must have been told about her mental state. My family did not want to mention that because it was her family's business. They must have known and they should have been out searching. I think Rosemary and Nathan will go back to Swanage tomorrow. They did not want to go back unless their names were cleared, and hope the people of Swanage will have sympathy with them." Mr. Elsey said Nathan has returned to his education at Brockenhurst College today. He added, "We will take action for wrongful arrest. This has ruined the lives." Speaking this morning, Detective Superintendent Paul Kessel, of Dorset Police's Major Crime Investigation Team, said following the results of the post-mortem examination and other ongoing investigative inquiries, "We have concluded that no one else was involved in Gaia's death. As such, we have today released from our investigation 2 men aged 19 and 49 and a 71-year-old woman, all from Swanage, who had been arrested and were assisting with our inquiries. I appreciate our inquiries would have caused these individuals stress and anxiety. However, we have an obligation in any missing person investigation to explore every possible line of inquiry. The public would expect Dorset Police to investigate the sudden disappearance of a teenage girl. Our aim was not only to find Gaia but to find out what happened to her. Gaia's family has been informed of this latest development, and our thoughts remain with all her family and friends at this incredibly difficult time." Facebook users lit candles and placed them on the windowsills in memory of Gaia Pope. 1. Kelly Scott took a picture of a candle with a fairy silhouette, commenting, "Good night Gaia, sleep tight sweetheart." Last night it was revealed Gaia was suffering from post-traumatic stress as she was tormented by a suspected UAL assault and gripped by fear her alleged attacker was about to be released from jail. Gaia's aunt, Hannah Sutherland, told the Mail there was a traumatic incident a couple of years ago and some people were convicted, not for that incident, but there was a conviction. And because of her epilepsy, prior to a seizure she could get very anxious, and it was apparently part of what came out as some of the anxiety. She was anxious there could potentially be some parole or something coming up. A friend from college said Gaia's erratic posts on social media in the days before she went missing made her fear for the teenager's mental state. She said, "Just before she went missing I actually called 2 of my friends and said, look, I'm worried my friend Gaia is having a breakdown. She was assaulted when she was 17 and I think she thought the man would be released from prison early." Police at the clifftop in Swanage, where Gaia Pope's body was found on Saturday afternoon. A map shows the timeline of events and the properties that have been searched in the hunt for Gaia. She was spotted at a petrol station near Swanage at 2:55 p.m. and was then seen on CCTV before banging on Rosemary Dinch's door. She was then picked up on a car dashcam, before a pile of clothes were found, then a body nearby. Dorset Police have faced criticism in the handling of the case as it emerged that Gaia had no injuries to suggest any other person was involved in her death. Police have been accused of bungling the case as it was revealed 3 people remained under investigation despite the fact that the post-mortem examination did not identify any injuries to suggest any other person was involved in her death. Police arrested Rosemary Dinch, 71, along with her 19-year-old grandson Nathan Elsey, on suspicion of murder on November 13. The following day Mr. Elsey's carpenter father Paul, 49, was arrested on suspicion of murder. However, they were released without any further action this morning. Greg Elsey, whose son, grandson and ex-wife were all arrested over her disappearance, accused the murder detectives of leading a witch hunt against his family. He also described police on the case as wooden tops who arrested 3 innocent people simply to make it look like they were doing something. The family are now planning to sue the police for wrongful arrest. Gaia went missing on November 7 in Manor Gardens, Swanage. Her body was found close to the Dancing Ledge cliff near Swanage on Saturday afternoon, around half a mile from where some of her clothes were found on Thursday. The area of cliffs between Anvil Point to the east and Dancing Ledge was searched multiple times between November 8, the day after Gaia disappeared, and November 12, but nothing was found. Her father, Richard Sutherland, a business development manager, has also said his distressed daughter had been told she could at any moment because her epilepsy was so severe. He said she was involved in a situation where some guys usually assaulted her. This had a really devastating effect on her. I think this had been coming back into her head. She was scared. Speaking for the first time since her body was found, her mother Natasha told the Daily Mirror, "The world is a darker place without my Gaia." Her cousin Mariana Pope Wideman vowed she will have justice after detectives searching for the missing teenager found the body in a field. In a heart-wrenching Facebook post today, she wrote, "My beautiful baby girl, so sunny and kind but tough as F. We hold you in our hearts forever. Know you are with Nan Pops now, but miss you beyond words. You will have justice. Fly on." Last night people across Dorset and beyond lit candles, putting them on the windowsills and sharing pictures on social media. Gaia's twin sister has spoken of her heartbreak at the death of the 19-year-old and vowed to make her so proud. Gaia Popes Sutherland described her sister as my everything and thanked everyone who had helped in searching for her sister. Paying tribute to the teenager, Miss Pope Sutherland wrote on Facebook, "Can't find any words right now. Gaia is my everything and I am heartbroken. I thank everyone who was involved in searching for my beautiful twin. Going to make her so proud," Mariana said last night. "We are absolutely devastated and unable to put those feelings of loss into words. Our little bird has flown, but she will always be with us." Residents in the hometown of Gaia Pope have been paying their respects at the town's war memorial, laying flowers, lighting candles and leaving messages. Gaia Pope's father, Richard Sutherland, thanks members of the public before a community search at Durlston Country Park in Dorset on Saturday. Mariana appeared alongside Gaia's father on Good Morning Britain left earlier in the week, where she asked members of the public to help their search efforts. The discovery of a body was made at around 3 p.m. on Saturday by specialist search teams on land south of Swanage, close to where clothing positively identified as belonging to the teenager was found on Thursday. The news of the discovery of Miss Pope's body on Saturday night came hours after hundreds of people joined searchers around Swanage looking for the teenager, who suffered from severe epilepsy. "She is the light of my life," Gaia's younger sister Clara broke down in an emotional interview as she described how her sister was passionate, creative, and emotionally wise. Dorset police said the discovery of a body was made at 3 p.m. yesterday, but the announcement came 5 hours later. It is understood the delay could be due to identification issues. A forensic tent sits in place where a body was found on a coastal path in Swanage. Dorset police said they were confident they had found Miss Pope, who has not been seen for 11 days, and said the death was being treated as unexplained. On Thursday, police discovered items of women's clothing similar to those worn by Gaia strewn in a field some 200 yards from a 70-foot cliff top.